Invasion vs. Marine Corps. Written by SciFiTime. The Kralian warships dropped out of hyperspace above a small blue planet, fittingly called Earth by its inhabitants. Our scanners confirmed primitive technology and weaponry, indicating an easy conquest. As the leader of an elite shock trooper squad, I was eager to add another world to the Empire's domains. "Look at those primitive settlements," commented First Officer Grax from the bridge. "Those frail humans will flee in terror as we deploy our landing craft. We'll have this world secured within a week." Soon our ships blanketed skies over major population centres. When the landing doors opened, we expected chaos and surrender. Instead, we faced an organised defence with basic but lethal weapons that found their mark unerringly. My squad took cover behind the dense metal hulls of our craft as projectiles slammed into them. "Return fire!" I ordered into my communicator. Our plasma cannons reduced the structures providing cover to ashes, but skirmishers in grey armour emerged from the smoke, charging with blunt weapons held high. They moved fast, smashing through our ranks before we could react. Blood stained the ground where comrades fell, their armour and bones shattered under the relentless onslaught. These humans fought without concern for self-preservation, sacrificing their lives if it took even one of us with them. Their fearless courage chilled me to my core as I watched them swarm over my wounded troops. No quarter was given in flesh-rending combat that sent a horrifying message: we would face a savage foe unlike any before. Night fell with both sides licking wounds, but celebration was far from my mind. Word had spread of the humiliating repulse at our primary landing zones, shaking morale. "They hit us like cornered animals," Grax said in a subdued tone. "Tomorrow we assault with full force to break their stubborn resistance." Come dawn, our armoured walkers led waves of infantry into urban combat. Yet amid the ruins, humans emerged suddenly from camouflage in fighting positions, raining explosives that blasted limbs from torsos. They swarmed any vehicle brought low, clinging with expert zeal to wreak carnage within, until only pieces remained. By midday, half of our number lay slaughtered. The city streets ran red as smouldering hulks littered the landscape like scattered toys. Still, the humans attacked without pause, making each metre costly. It was then that I saw their true nature. They were warriors to the core, fighting not just for victory, but annihilation of the foe. We had stirred a wrathful beast that knew only how to kill and would accept nothing less than total triumph. My squad limped back to our ships, battered and depleted in number. Word had spread fast of the carnage inflicted by the warriors called United States Marine Corps. The humans were led by seasoned commanders who coordinated sweeping assaults and tactical withdrawals that left us grasping at ghosts. Our medic treated countless lacerations and broken bones from the intricate traps laid throughout the city ruins. But worse were the deep psychological wounds. No foe had ever fought our troops to such a frenzied state of bloodlust. Rumour circulated of humans eating the still beating hearts of fallen Kralians. I knew such stories were exaggerations, yet after witnessing their fury in battle, I didn't doubt some remnant of truth. Commander Vox called an emergency briefing. We've lost half our troops engaging these Marines in one settlement. Clearly, a new strategy is needed. He highlighted locations of remaining human fighters and support infrastructure. Our walkers and air power will bombard defensive positions from afar, while infantry maneuvers them into open terrain. There, our numbers and technology will prevail. The next attack saw us rain fire from the skies, pulverizing the landscape. Still, survivors vanished into underground networks as seamlessly as melting snow. They stalked us at every turn, ambushing scouting parties and pickets under cover of darkness. More troop carriers returned holding fewer soldiers each cycle. Commanders rotated in desperation, while veterans like myself cycled back to the front over and over to stem the deteriorating situation. My squad's latest deployment took us into a dense forest where sensors detected human life signs. Our formation advanced cautiously through the mist-shrouded trunks until an eruption of gunfire terminated our scouts. Battle was joined amid a thrashing confusion of bark and foliage. A brutal rolling melee followed as humans materialized from all directions, engaging in ferocious hand-to-hand combat, before extracting like wraiths between one breath and the next. When the mist cleared, two remained standing amongst a horrific scene. Myself and a battle-hardened human with eyes like blue flint that had witnessed countless massacres. For an endless moment we stared at each other, two survivors acknowledging one another's prowess across an unbridgeable alien divide. His laser sight levelled at my head, yet he withdrew soundlessly into the misty depths without firing. I wondered if some code of respect was shared, even between mortals and monsters. The mist would claim more souls before this ordeal ended, but in those quiet forest depths, an understanding had been reached. We were not so different, these humans and Kralians in our savage natures. War brought out the worst in both species, and the best too, sometimes. My admiration for our formidable foe had taken root, and would only grow harder to uproot in the battles yet to come. Our losses had become unsustainable, yet pulling our forces off-world would be a humiliation, rivaled only by total defeat. Command ordered one final thrust to break the human defences across their island nation. If successful, we could batter them into submission from orbit. If not, retreat would follow with our tails between our legs. My seasoned squad of veterans had been grinding against these marine units since landfall. We understood them better than any Kralians remaining. Before dawn on the decisive day, I addressed my troops. These humans fight with a passion few understand, but passion alone cannot defeat discipline, numbers and technology working in concert. Stay focused and have faith in our training. Victory will be ours. Under cover of bombardment, our armoured vehicles pushed into the capital city streets, amid towering spires. Humans engaged from high-rise strongholds, raining destruction, until our vehicles poured fire upwards in response. The buildings came crashing down, yet soldiers emerged from the wreckage fighting on. Wave after counterattack surged against our armour, which slowly ground forward over piles of destroyed bodies. The narrow alleyways and subterranean tunnels where humans lurked proved a nightmare, as always. Titan devolved into a chaos of whirling blades and flashing lasers in the tight spaces, but we adapted, using gas grenades and collapsing passageways behind us. Step by bloody step, we reclaimed the city block by block. Victory felt assured until sensor contact faded ahead, replaced by an ominous silence. It was then that the humans unleashed their grand stratagem. Hidden explosives detonated, causing foundations to crumble and bringing dozens of buildings down atop our vanguard in cascades of pulverized concrete and twisted metal. From the debris swarmed every human warrior that could still fight, along with civilians wielding makeshift arms. Their suicidal charge amid the clouds of dust overwhelmed our front lines. The battle descended into a visceral struggle for survival. All that mattered was killing or being killed. As dusk fell, I realized we were the ones surrounded, fighting to escape the urban killing ground that had claimed so many comrades. Under the cover of darkness, our remaining forces eluded the humans long enough to board our ships. There, I collapsed in exhaustion, wondering how any species could be so relentlessly fearsome. In closing, for the first time, I understood that what made humanity so terrifying was not psychological traits, but an insatiable will to win at any cost. Faced with annihilation, they simply refused to surrender their world without extinguishing every last invader. And in that unbending resolve to defend their own to the last breath, I saw our final defeat was inevitable from the very beginning. The Kralian Empire had at last encountered a species it could not conquer, no matter the disparity in power. Humans will die before they surrender.